Hi, Otto. Great job writing these new essays for your IELTS preparation. Let's get straight into your essays and see what you've done. Nowadays, there is an increasing number of people traveling locally or internationally. In this essay, I am going to discuss the advantages and disadvantages of traveling. Okay, fine. People supporting traveling agree, this should be a plural verb, no S, that it is an efficient way for cultural exchange and technique sharing. Okay, this is a little vague. I don't know what you mean by technique sharing. It's certainly not something that somebody readily understands when they read it. So let's see what you do to explain it. We can learn from each other's experiences. For example, an architect living in a developing country travels to a developed country like Japan to observe how the buildings are constructed to minimize the damage, singular, in case of an earthquake. He can incorporate the skills into the building plans of his own country to improve their structures. Similarly, a medical expert travels frequently to attend conferences around the world in order to have a greater exposure, without the A here, in order to have greater exposure to the latest medical knowledge, which helps him manage his patients. Traveling seems to be a good way for sharing experiences, a good way to share experiences and to improve the living standard in our own homes, in our own home country, something. Okay, now that I've read the whole paragraph, I would have to say a couple of things about this part right here. Again, I believe that technique sharing is not really readily understandable, so I would replace it with a different word. Also, you need some sort of a linker here. And that linker needs to somehow explain what you mean by this. So it could be something like, that is to say, or by this I mean, or just something as simple as, that is, comma. And then it's a little better. But again, I would replace this expression. Okay. For those people who oppose the idea of traveling, argue that there are disadvantages like disturbing other lives and spreading infections rapidly. Okay, now you had two options here. You could have gotten rid of for and just said, those people who oppose the idea of traveling argue that, etc., etc. Or, for those people who oppose the idea of traveling, comma, they argue that. But I think the first choice is better. And also, we say, like disturbing others, S apostrophe, lives. Okay, then, travelers could be a huge burden with a B here, right? Okay, to a small city. Take Hong Kong as an example. Many protests have happened in the past few years to expel the huge number of mainland travelers. The local citizens reported a severe disturbance in life, like the needs to compete for formula milk and to cope with heavy traffic. Okay, again, there seems to be a lack of connecting devices here. So these sentences aren't really fluidly joined. So I would like to see some linkers to kind of glue them together better. Then, excuse me, let's see. Now, local citizens reported a severe disturbance in life. For example, competing for formula milk and coping with heavy traffic would be better than disturbances in life like the needs. I think that works a little better. Okay, so as the population density is very high in Hong Kong, infectious diseases are easily spread through public transport, no S, and other facilities. Therefore, or consequently, frequent traveling causes a significant drawback in disturbing local people and creates a risk to public health. I think that works a little better here. So nicely done. To conclude, there are pros and cons of frequent traveling. Although it shows some benefits in improving the living standard, we need to balance a potential burden to other places. Okay, it's very nice, Otto. It's well done. Yeah, I know that I mentioned a few little things that I would like to be changed, but other than that, it was really, really good work. Nicely done. So let's go to your task one. Okay, and here it is. Here's your task one. This floor plan illustrates the layout of flat, blah, blah. The flat is composed of a lower level area of 798 square feet and a main floor area of 1789 square feet. The maximum width is 69 feet and the maximum depth is 36. There are 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, 1 lavatory, kitchen, dining room, living room, garage, and storeroom. After you enter the flat, on the main floor, I believe, after you enter the flat on the main floor, a large living room and garage are located on your right. They measure, not in the past, but in general they measure, about 14 by 20 and 21 by 20 respectively. The kitchen of about 11 by 10 is opposite, I wouldn't even have said lying, is opposite to the living room. Okay, knew the measurements, and in between the dining room and lavatory or storeroom. If you walk up the stairs at the left side of the entrance, you will find 3 bedrooms measuring about 10 by 12 to 13 by 15. There is an ensuite bathroom, it's usually with an E here, in the largest bedroom. Another bathroom is found if you turn, without the S, right after you climb up the stairs. When you walk down to the lower level, a large activity room measuring, again, about 22 by 15 is located on your left, and a laundry with a bathroom inside is located on the right. The smallest bedroom is found at the end of the corridor that connects the stairs. Overall, this flat has a well-planned layout. This is really very nicely done. As you can see, I didn't really correct anything except for a few tiny little grammatical issues. Actually, let's take a look at it. And here is the plan. Now, there is something you have left out. You didn't mention the patio and the terrace. So while everything was really, really well done, these are details that you should probably include. I don't know how big of a problem this would be. I'm not really sure, but certainly it could reduce your score. So do be aware of that. I really liked it. Now, in terms of the development, the only other thing that I might ask you to rethink is your conclusion statement, where you said it has a well laid out plan. Maybe something a little more specific, like this apartment has a plan that can clearly accommodate a large family, or just something a little more specific rather than just a well laid out plan. Okay, but on the whole, nice job. Very good work. Don't forget to correct your essays, add all of the errors to your essay correction list, keep up your good work, continue writing, and I will be waiting for your next essays.